Hi, everybody.
Hi, Eric.
Can you hear us good?
Hi, James. Hi, Eric.
Hello,
James.
James.
Hi, Eric.
Good to see everybody here.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful evening here in Welland.
Great. Wonderful. I see you having so many stuff in your table, on the table, and it looks great. We can't wait to hear what you have to say and to share with us today.
We're very thirsty, so that's why Eric showed up here and just had a bag full of beers and other things.
Okay.
So you guys know today we have a Canadian culture sharing. So James and I here to share what is a Canadian life and then what is the benefit to living in Canada, and also what is also disadvantage
Disadvantage, sure.
living in Canada.
Yeah.
Because I'm Canadian, but you guys think, am I real Canadian? Say yes or no.
I don't think so.
Somebody yes, somebody no. Yeah, I'm Canadian, but I'm not real Canadian. Right? I'm a Korean Canadian, so I'm also immigrant to Canada from South Korea. And James is?
So I was born in Canada, but my family immigrated. So would that make me a real Canadian or a Canadian?
I would say, yeah.
Because that's what's interesting about Canada, right? So my grandfather came from the Czech Republic, and my grandmother came from England.
Mm.
That's on my father's side.
Mm-hmm.
And then on my mother's side, they were here a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But they're from like Finland, Germany, Scotland. There's a few others in there. It's a whole good mix.
Yeah, also Irish Island as well.
Mhm.
So that means you can guess, wow, James looks like Canadian and North American, and Eric is Asian like you guys, but I'm Canadian. So Canada is a multicultural country. It's a real multicultural country. And that really we want to say first, because Canada is an immigration country, and then all people mix come from over 130 countries. So from Vietnam, Philippines, China, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, all over the world, right?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
so if we say real Canadian, I would say, oh. Am I right? No? What do you think?
The Native Americans.
Yeah,
yes,
Native
yes,
American.
the Aboriginals.
Yeah, Aboriginal.
Yes.
So they might be a real
Mhm.
North America, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
first peoples, right? So
That's right.
they were here the earliest. I mean, they also came from the Bering Strait, so they were coming from Russia, Mongolia, China area into North America.
Mhm.
But I mean, that's going way back. So
Very
yeah,
interesting,
they're the originals, and then everybody after that was immigrating here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the geography. How big Canada? I know it's maybe second large land Canada have it, or
Yeah, so Canada is the second largest country in the world,
Absolutely.
right? And an example of this, just this past summer, I went on a road trip with my family. So road trip, for those of you know, we get in the car, we have all our stuff, our clothes, our sleeping bags, and we just go somewhere different. I drove for 10 hours on a highway, so going like 120 kilometers an hour for 10 hours, and I was still in Ontario.
wow.
I did not leave Ontario.
Wow.
I was maybe almost halfway to the next western province, which is Manitoba.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So Canada is big, right? I know we have a 10 province.
Mm-hmm.
So where we are? We are Ontario or
Ontario.
Ontario. So I think people may know Canada, but they don't know Ontario. Any easy way they understand where we are?
So I think you got to think about the city, right?
Yes.
Toronto, and the capital of Canada, Ottawa, is here in Ontario.
Yes.
Right? So we are like the economic center of Canada. We are the political center of Canada right here in Ontario.
Very good. Yeah. So we are in Ontario, Toronto, and also the capital city, Ottawa here, right?
Yes.
And what about population? How many population in Canada? Do you know?
What is the? I knew it from a few years ago. I think we're right around 36 million.
Yeah, 36 million.
Yeah.
I also
Give or take a million.
That means, please remember, in Canada, we have a second large land. However, population is very small.
Yeah.
36 million people. I'm very sure from Vietnam and then from Philippines or from China or Taiwan, any student from international, they said, wow, it's a big country, but a small population.
Small population.
So we still need to have a more people or students, right?
Students, people, entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
To help the future of Canada, right? That's why Canada is built on immigration, and will continue to welcome people from around the world who want to come to Canada and settle here and work towards a common goal, which I think is just a good life, right? Take care of your family. Yeah.
You were born here, and then I was born in South Korea outside. Let me ask a question. What about character, Canadian character?
Canadian character. That's a huge question, Eric.
I will share my first experience. So when I arrived in Canada, Toronto Pearsall Airport, I was very nervous, and also, how can I say, at the time I couldn't speak English. I just using very small words like yes, no, okay, and thank you, and sorry, something like that. So I was very tension and then very nervous. However, the Canadian, the immigration border and the immigration officer, they are very smiling and then welcoming.
Yes.
That I remember right now. And then get out office, airport, and then we called a taxi, and then taxi driver also was very nice. Everybody nice. And when I first come to school, teacher and then staff, they also welcoming. And then after a couple hours later, they remember my name. Can you believe?
Not many people, right? Maybe.
Yeah. and then next couple days, I met another people, or second day or second week later, met same guy and same female. They remember my name. So I was surprised. I don't remember their name, but they remember my name.
Yeah.
So I thought, wow, they have a good brain and then smart. However, most Canadian, most people living in Canada, they remember when you're talking or meeting or something. That was, I said that. So very nice and kind, and also a good remember name. There's my,
and that's kind of like, I don't think it's a stereotype because it's kind of a good thing, right?
Okay.
But it's a lot of people, when they think of Canadians, it's nice and friendly and polite. Right, and I think a lot of Canadians take pride in the fact that, yes, we will try and be polite to each other. We will try and be understanding of each other. And, I might not know it by looking at you, Eric, right? Of course, I look at any of our students or anybody around, it's like, okay, Canadian. You don't pay much attention. But you'll find in Canada, once you ask for help, or they see that you might need help, then a lot of people are willing to help you. But I think that's a big point in Canada is you need to ask help a lot of times. Right? If I went to Korea, people would see it very clearly. Oh, he's a foreigner and he probably needs help. So maybe I'll go and ask him, hey, do you need help? Where are you going? Oh, welcome to Korea. But in Canada, everybody is from around the world. So I don't want to say to you, hey, welcome to Canada. And you were born in Canada, right? So, I'll give you your space. But if you come in and I see, oh, you need help or you ask for help, you'll find a lot of Canadians are ready to help you. Yeah.
That's really good point. So I have a funny story. So when I went to hospital first time to walk in, I have to wait over 2 hours. But I didn't ask any nurse. I just sitting and then waiting because I didn't know what should I do right at the hospital. So that's the 2 hour, and then I was very tired, and then just somebody asking me something, how helping something waiting.
Yeah.
So I was stupid at the time. I should ask, okay, I'm sick, and then how can I register? How can I see the doctor? I didn't do that because I have no idea at the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm foreigner, right? I'm from outside Canada, so we didn't know that, and I also didn't know that. So after that, I realized, okay, ask any question or ask any thing you need, and then they will helping, and then you can get the answer. If you didn't ask, yeah, nothing. And then people said that everything okay. That was What about living lifestyle, especially food? Let's talk about the food.
Food is a good question, right? And it's hard to say. The Canadian food culture is something very special because everybody's from around the world. So to say, like, what is Canadian food? I mean, I can talk about what I ate growing up, right?
Okay.
I'm
sorry, because why I'm laughing? Because you said very special.
Yeah.
But you guys, yeah, trust me, there's a really, really special or really, really not special. That's what I mean. Because
it's interesting. Okay, so like Canadian food. What's Canadian food? If I talk about what I ate growing up, which was basically one plate of food, you have potato, you have vegetables, and meat.
That's right.
So that's like the meat and potatoes. But that's not Canadian. That's from Europe.
That's right.
That's from like Scotland or Irish, right? That sort of background. It's not Canadian. That's something my ancestors brought with them. Is okay, we're gonna eat potatoes, veggies, and meat. So what's Canadian food, right? There are a couple of things that are sort of invented here in Canada, like poutine, right? So that's a special sort of Canadian food. Poutine, for if you don't know, is French fries, gravy, which is like the meat sauce, meat gravy, and cheese. So but you can't eat that every day. So I think I think the quick answer is like Canadian food is the food of the world, right? And that's why if you go to any downtown, like here in St. Catharines, right, it's a pretty big city in the area, in the region. You go downtown and you can eat Japanese food, you can eat Chinese food, you can eat Mexican food. Just today our coworker was saying he's going to go for Mexican there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You can get Italian food, all these different types of restaurants, and they're all pretty authentic because probably somebody who is working there is from Italy or whatever the country is. But the other thing about Canadian food is like it's not food, but it's beer, right? Beer is very important in Canadian culture.
Okay.
And you'll see that to go into sort of drinking culture is it might be different than some Asian countries, right? Where the important thing is to have a meal together and then drinking during the meal.
Okay.
Where in Canada we'll eat dinner and then start drinking, like we're doing right now, right? So it's 11 o'clock and this is the perfect time to be
drinking,
sitting around drinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about maple syrup?
Maple syrup, yeah, is very special. What I think it's 90% of the world's maple syrup comes from Canada.
Yeah.
And probably about 80% of it comes from Quebec.
Yeah. And what about ice wine?
Ice wine as well, right? We have our Niagara College ice wine here.
Ooh, this is Niagara College wine.
Niagara College wine, made by our students and staff there. But yeah, ice wine is sort of like the national beverage. It's very Canadian because we have the right climate for it here in Niagara.
Yeah, that's right.
It's beautiful summers where we can grow grapes here, but then it gets cold enough in the winter to be able to call it ice wine.
Okay, let's talk about the education system. So we know the Canada education is kind of different than United States. of course, a different, all the school or country, a different education system. What about Canadian education system? Because we are from Niagara College, right?
We're from Niagara College.
And also, I know we have a university as well.
Mm-hmm.
And do we have any middle school in Canada?
Well, I don't think we call it middle school.
Elementary
right?
school,
yeah.
Middle school, high school. I hear United States they have it, but I don't think. Of course, it's a.
Yeah, no. In Canada, we have our elementary school, which is basically junior kindergarten until grade 8.
Grade 8. Okay.
Yeah. And then after grade 8, you're into high school. And sometimes that gets separated into junior high and high school. But really, it's all sort of high school. Right? And that's from grade 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, there's a high school. Okay. And what is the benefit to study college?
What's the benefit?
Yeah.
Is I mean, there's so many benefits, and I think the number's like 52% of high school graduates in Canada choose college.
Wow, 52%.
And there's a lot of reasons for that. And I could go in a little bit of a rift here. One reason is in Canada, it's very common for parents to encourage their children to chase their dreams. What are you interested in, Eric? Oh, you're interested in, flowers? Okay, greenhouse technician, that would be perfect. So, perfect place to study that is Niagara College, right? At a college. So once students are sort of thinking about all different ideas of what to do in the future, college has a lot of programs that university doesn't. So that's one huge advantage, right? We have a lot of, like our beer making program, right? Beer 101, as it's on here. Beer 101.
Yeah.
You don't go to university to study how to make beer. You go to college, and specifically you go to Niagara College, of course.
Yeah.
Right? So you have all these students looking at all different ways of, what to do with their future. And then the other thing to remember, and it's not specifically about the advantage of college or university, but it kind of is, graduates from college and university, they're pretty much at the same pay. And
you mean the main?
Yeah.
Making money, right? Okay.
Yeah. How much money they're making. And a lot of times people coming out of college are going to be making more than people coming out of university. Because they have a lot of very clear skills to be able to use. So you eliminate a money issue, right?
Yeah.
So in Canada, people aren't thinking, oh, I want to make money, so I have to go to university. That does not exist here.
Absolutely.
Right? You can make very good money by going to college. So, and then the other thing about college, right? It's a shorter time, because from the first year, all your courses pretty much are about the program you pick.
Yeah.
Where in university, your first year and a half, almost 2 years is sort of electives, right? You're trying different things in the university. You can take a psychology, a history, you can take a computer course, you can try all these different things and still change your major in the second year and sometimes the third year.
That's right.
Where in college, when you choose beer making,
just to go straight.
That's what you're doing.
Yes.
Day one, you're going to put on your uniform and be there, probably doing something with beer.
More they're ready to work, right?
Ready to work, ready to go right away. There's no time wasting, right? So that saves you money. It saves you time.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
And what about quality of education? I know our schools are public, and the most college are public, and also higher institutions are public. Why Canada have a most public institution than private? Why?
Well, I mean, I think it's just quality control, right? And you'll see in Canada, right, we have our Ministry of Educations for each province, right? There's nothing at the federal level. So every province is taking care of a standard. And what is important is that all students, no matter if you're poor or if you're rich or if you did really good or not so good, everybody, no matter what school you go to, no matter where you live, you are getting a quality education. right? So everybody is starting at an equal starting place.
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
That's a very
That's
good point.
very, very important is that
Mhm.
everybody has a chance.
Yeah.
If you live, 10 hours away from Toronto, very far, there's still a college out there
Mhm.
that you could go to because
Yeah.
maybe you don't have enough money to move to Niagara and come here and pay rent and everything. But that means everybody. So the government makes sure public institutions are maintaining a standard.
Mhm.
And that's what I find very interesting, right? I'm regional manager for East Asia, so I'm in China a lot. When I go to China, and they're always asking, what is the ranking?
Mhm.
What's the ranking? I'm thinking, we don't have a ranking.
But they have a ranking.
Yeah.
Like a world university ranking
Yeah.
companies. Okay.
But
Every time they come ranking.
So it's
very interesting.
in China, the government will say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Government?
Yep.
King.
The government ranks the
Wait a
institutions.
minute. Are they all public?
Public and private, mix of.
However, government.
The government says.
Link?
Yep.
Okay.
It might be
Welcome
something.
to China.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay.
But here in Canada, our government has never said.
Absolutely no.
This school is number 1. This school
It's
is
impossible,
number 2.
yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah.
They say this is a standard. Okay, every public institution is going to meet that standard.
Wow.
So you're in a safe spot if you go to any public school, and really safe if you're going to Niagara College.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And also one more I want to add in. Canada, we have 2 language, official language.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you come to Canada to studying English or speaking English. However, you may also hear some French speaker. So
Yes,
we have 2 official language, English and French.
That's right.
Let's talking about just a common lifestyle in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Daily life.
Daily life.
Yeah. For example, me wake up around 7 o'clock, and then little bit prepare the breakfast, and then try to wake up, and then bring my daughters, and then ready for school for them. I'm also ready for my working, and then go school or go working.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, bring lunch back like a sandwich.
Yeah.
And then cookies. Sometimes we just buy donuts, and then during daytime at the office, working, and then eating lunch. No lunch time, just working at the eating desk, and then come back home, prepare dinner. After dinner, a little bit family time, 1 hour, 2 hours, and then prepare for sleep.
Yeah.
That is normal. But when I was living in South Korea, it's very similar. However, not really like night time here.
Mm-hmm. No, and you'll see that. I mean, what you said is pretty much it. It's the 9 to 5, right? A lot of people are very comfortable in Canada, starting work at 9 o'clock, finishing at 5 o'clock. And not doing overtime. That's key, right? And a lot of employers, your boss will be very careful about saying, Eric, work overtime. Because if he says work overtime, he has to pay you what we say double time.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So he has to pay you more for that. So usually bosses, no, 5 o'clock, you go home. And it's that, right? It's go home, eat dinner, have some family time. And you'll notice, right, Canadians are actually pretty focused on family in a different way, right?
Yeah.
In that our entire society is structured in a way to create time for everybody to do what they like. And a lot of that is spending time with family.
That's right.
So you'll notice on the weekends, the shopping malls actually have reduced hours. So a lot of shopping malls will close at 6 o'clock, where on Thursday and Friday, they're open until 9 o'clock
that's right.
or 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So why are they closed? Like weekend, it should be the time to make money. Everybody's out. But no, they want to make sure even the workers at the shopping mall are enjoying some of the weekend. Right? So it's an interesting kind of flip on what is important, right?
Okay.
What might be more important than staying open all night and all day on Saturday and Sunday is making sure everybody has a chance to go home and do what you enjoy.
What about our students, their life?
Mhm.
So they study and then go back to home
Of course
and the
not.
homework?
No.
Of course, right? They
So-
work
so
at the
yeah,
part-time,
I
right?
mean,
So
We're talking about the life of two old men sitting here, right? So that's very different than a student.
absolutely, yeah. So let's talk into
Okay, so
young generation.
let me go back like 20 years. Yeah, I guess it would be a good 20 years, 15 years, let's say. Okay, well, what was I doing as a student? And it was, focusing on studies, trying to wake up early
Mhm.
and get to class. Eating what I can. I was away from home, so obviously I didn't have my family cooking, so I wasn't eating as good.
Mhm.
But you learn, right? You learn pizza
Okay.
is sort of a lifesaver.
Mhm.
I see a lot of students eating pizza because it's fast, it's easy, it fills you up. But then, yeah, after classes, you got to make sure you're doing your homework. But after that, there are so many clubs and activities
Absolutely,
to get involved in.
yeah.
And if you just like to hang out, I mean, even at the college, all the new spaces that we've invested money in over the past probably 10 years,
Yeah, 10 years.
have just been student space.
Yeah, space.
So it's like
Wide open.
a space like this to sit down on a couch, have a Tim Hortons coffee.
Mhm.
We have a pub on campus so students can finish class and go have a beer there.
Mhm.
Right? There's a lot of things for students to do and a lot of ways that students can come together.
Yeah.
And then, of course, bars and pubs, which, I mean, I don't go to anymore. But when I was young, of course, right? I would have been out probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Mhm.
3 nights a week.
Okay.
You know,
3 nights per week.
yeah, not a good thing, but it's there, right? The bars are there.
Okay. What about money? How did you get the money?
Part-time job.
Okay, absolutely. That I want to
Part-time job.
hear that. So
Yeah.
most students also working,
Yeah.
especially our international students, they do work also study during their time.
Yeah,
That's
and
one of the
that
good one.
because we're in Niagara, right?
Right.
And it's just a tourist mecca.
Mm.
There are so many tourists coming here
Mm.
all the time
Mm.
that restaurants, hotels, shopping centers, they all need part-time people.
Yeah.
They all need people, and especially students, to work those sort of evening hours
Absolutely.
that regular people can't work because
Yeah.
they have families or whatever, right? So that's
Yeah.
the perfect job for students. And like being a waiter, my brother used to be 30 something years old and he was still a waiter because the money was just too good.
Oh, okay.
Working down in Niagara Falls.
Okay.
He was making like $4,000 a month
Because of tip?
because of tips.
Yeah, absolutely. How much have to pay for tip when you're eating? Yeah, in Canada usually.
Usually it's like
10%?
10% to 20%,
Okay.
whatever you feel. So 15% is probably a common one.
Okay.
So let's say a table
Mhm.
was eating dinner
Mhm.
and they spent $100. They would leave my brother $15 or
Wow.
$20.
Yeah.
Now in one night he can have 1, 2, 3. He can have 10 or 20 tables,
Mhm.
all $10, $20, $10, $20.
Wow. No tax.
No tax.
Wow. How many
Technically.
percent tax? If I have to buy, not maybe grocery, no, not grocery, might be clothes. How much should I pay? If $10?
So you would pay an extra what? 13?
13? Yeah, 13%.
Yeah, harmonized sales tax. So that's provincial tax and federal tax.
Okay. Don't forget when you buy something.
Yeah.
Even laptop. I was shocking when I first time buy laptop and television in Canada. It was cost to, they said that 900. So I was say, whoa, 900 is cheaper. However, actually I had to pay 1,120.
Yeah.
More than tax. Why? They said that, oh, this laptop, when I throw this garbage, it is not really, how to say, they say that environmental fee.
Mm-hmm.
So when I
environmental
buy
fee.
like this one, I have to pay extra. So
that's a whole different
Canada,
type of
right?
tax, right? So they're taking extra money to be able to support the garbage pickup.
Garbage pickup, yeah, something like that.
Dealing with all this electronic waste.
Yeah.
But yeah, the tax, and you'll see it on big purchases more, right? So if you spend $1,000 and you have to pay an extra $100, but if you buy, lunch or whatever, you don't really, it doesn't hurt as much. But you got to remember, why are we paying that tax? And you have children here, right? I have my daughter here. She goes to school for free.
Free?
Yeah. From now until high school.
High school,
right?
Okay.
Right, and the end of high school. My whole family, we have free health care.
Oh, free care.
Right? My daughter has free Medicare. So that means, pharmacare, sorry.
Okay.
So that means medicine is even free. So if she needs to take pills or anything. The other thing is we have a very good social security plan. Right? So old people are taken care of.
Okay.
So really, when you don't have to worry about school, you don't have to worry about medical bills, you don't have to worry about older parents or senior members of the family, you have a lot of flexibility, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it becomes much easier to settle into life.
And what about the house price? Is it like rent and also buy house here? Because again, if the outside of a big city, it might be very expensive to buy house or find land, apartment, especially big city, right?
Yeah.
But what about here?
Same thing, right? The bigger the city, usually the more expensive it is. So to compare with Toronto, I think the easiest way is look at homestay. Homestay gives you a place to sleep. It gives you internet, and it gives you food, right? So if you were really sort of conservative or worried about financial, worried about money, homestay is the minimum you have to pay for living. $850 here in Niagara.
Okay, $850.
You go to Toronto, you go to Vancouver, homestay with meals, 3 meals is almost double.
Wow.
Okay, and same with, you could, houses are even crazier, right? But if you just wanted to rent here in Niagara, you're gonna pay maybe $500 for a room.
Okay.
And
cheaper than
they
save money.
Yep.
And we just forget to mention to you guys. So please, if you have any question, write down on the chat box by any your own language, because we have our staff lineup. So if you want to write down by Vietnamese, by Mandarin, or by Korean, or by what's that?
Chinese.
Yeah. And Tagalog. Please. Feel free to put
we're kind of watching as we talk here.
Yeah. And what is the disadvantage living in Canada? I really want to talk about this. Of course, we always talking good thing. But let's try. What's the worst and what's the bad?
Okay.
So you're thinking, and then I will pack.
Okay. You start.
Okay. First,
start going.
As I mentioned to you guys, waiting time. Appointment, the waiting. If I want to make my glass, I need to go to eye doctor and arrange and then make appointment. I have to wait 1 month to see doctor to check my eyes and then have a glass check eye 4 weeks, get the glass 3 weeks. If I'm sick, want to meet the doctor, call, make appointment. They said that, oh, we are fully booking. You may be able to, maybe 6 weeks later, I'm able to see doctor. If I'm really sick, go to hospital and emergency room. I had to waiting 7 hours. That was my worst experience in Canada.
Yeah.
I was really sick, high fever, and then sick. So at nighttime, especially nighttime.
Yeah, you should have stayed home.
So I went there, and then
that was your mistake, Eric.
And then
I
was waiting room, and
if you only have a fever, so it's interesting. When I was young, I cannot.
No. I have to finish. Wait a minute.
Okay.
So you guys can remember and use that. Yeah, 7 hours, sick people still sit the chair and then waiting. So early morning at 8 a.m., my feels better. Oh, feel better, and then I think I don't need to see the doctor because I'm already okay. So I just work out and come back home.
That's good.
That was my experience. So
you should have never went.
Yeah, it's waiting time. Anything appointments is not really inconvenience because in South Korea very easy. Boom. In Vietnam, if I need to see the doctor, make a class, might be 1 hour.
Yeah.
Even 40 minutes. Might be China, same. Right?
Same. Yeah, it's so
in
fast.
Philippines, might be 30 minutes or 40 minutes. It's fast. Everything on the corner. But here is not. Why?
Okay. So I gotta go back to your when I was young. I was talking with my wife about this. I cannot remember a time where I was sick, like a cold, a fever, and my mom brought me to a hospital.
Okay.
Or my mom brought me to a doctor.
Okay.
Everything was just okay. Sit at home. Stay at home. Drink water, or take some medicine. Go to sleep. Even like a fever, puking, and I was still stay home. So very, very interesting. Why is it? It's because again, the healthcare system is for everybody.
Yeah, free.
So they're seeing, okay, there's Mr. Eric with a fever, and in comes a guy and he's missing a finger. He's bleeding out of his finger. Okay, we're gonna see this guy first.
Yeah.
So they prioritize, and it was very, very interesting because my wife is a new Canadian as well. And she had the same feeling, like, why do we have to wait so long? Well, when my wife was pregnant and she felt something a little bit weird, went to the emergency room, 5 minutes.
Yeah,
she was in. Immediately. Because high risk, very important.
Yeah.
You with a fever, you can wait. The pregnant lady, no, we're going to take her right away.
Yeah.
So that's sort of, it's an advantage and disadvantage, right? The advantage is, everybody gets healthcare. The disadvantage is, well, now we have to share with everybody, right?
Yeah, you're talking the good thing, but okay. What's your
back to disadvantage?
Your last is the good thing, so no. Okay.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. What?
No, but it is. I mean, you're right. It kind of sucks to wait. What do I have? Disadvantage. I guess and it could be an advantage.
No, don't say that. Okay.
Labor.
Oh.
Labor is expensive.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, I hate.
Labor is expensive.
Wow.
So if you need to get your car fixed, if you need to fix your toilet,
no.
if you need to fix, some electricity, very expensive.
Not only expensive, you have to wait maybe 1 month.
Yeah.
If it's urgency, they asking more money, but that was really bad, right? Expensive, and then so okay.
Yeah, and I mean, the reason, I guess, is, and it's a good thing, it allows everybody to have a very high standard of living, right? So I pay somebody for their skills, for their technical ability, right? If they can fix my toilet, they should be paid well to do that. That's something I can't do. So, but yeah, the disadvantages is it's expensive. It's very different than a lot of, probably in Korea, and I know in China as well, where you can get very cheap, very quick, but here is, much more expensive.
I also have to pay. I'm willing to pay more, but again, you make appointment, waiting the time.
Yeah, waiting.
Right, because not many people, are ready to service, right? So they have a busy and the line off. So that also really, is the point and the disadvantage.
I think another disadvantage is, and I'll be honest, the public transportation system.
Okay, yeah. That's good.
Public transportation, buses, subway. So it doesn't matter if we're in Niagara or if we're in Toronto or if we're in Vancouver. If you look at Toronto's subway system, It's a joke.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so funny. It's what, 2 lines?
Only 2 lines.
Ooh, it's a U and a cross.
2 lines.
It's a joke, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you look at a place like Seoul, right? And it's just,
Yeah.
You have trains everywhere.
Even Philippines.
Yeah, even Philippines.
In Manila,
right?
they have more train.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. And
Taiwan as well. Very.
yeah, train. Okay, but maybe no subways. But what about buses?
Yeah.
But even buses are still. If you miss a bus, you're probably gonna have to wait a half an hour or an hour.
That's right.
Right? Where in a lot of other big cities around the world, buses are just coming every 5-10 minutes.
That's true. That's true.
And the only reason I know for that is population.
Small population.
Small
right?
population, and it's a car culture.
That's right. Yeah.
Somebody came to, I don't know, I think there's research on it. Somebody in North America said, hey, I want to sell cars. Let's make everything far away. Right? And that's what you'll notice here is in Canada, a lot of stuff is pretty far away from where you are. Right? So it's forcing people to buy cars.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
And what about the price to buy car or using public transportation, like a taxi or, I mean, compare which is the better? Do you think?
Ooh,
living in Canada?
Good. Okay, if you're doing public transportation, of course, transportation is cheaper.
Cheaper, good.
Yeah. But public transportation, you're very limited in, when you can go out, when you can come back. You're kind of limited that way. If you add in like Uber or taxis into that, that becomes very expensive very quickly.
Okay.
So if you're taking like an Uber a week, it's probably cheaper to do Uber.
Uber, okay.
But if you're taking an Uber every 2 days, then you probably should think about buying a car. And there are many secondhand cars, $1,000, $2,000.
Yeah, I know, the stunt car also.
Yeah. A lot of students finish and then they leave and they want to sell their car to the next student. Yeah, it happens. So.
Okay, I believe we should have some answer.
Okay.
And June.
Hi. It's
I
so
believe
fun and interesting to hear you guys talk.
Can you ask a question so people can read everybody so we can answer?
I mean, there are a couple of questions here I really want to answer, but I think the best one to get them answered is you guys. So I will ask you some of the questions here. So the first one is I can see here, because you're talking about really interesting features in living in Niagara region and Canada as well. So they are really thinking about what about homestay, because that is the big part of the culture that they need to participate in if they really move to Canada. So they're asking if there are any homestay rules in Canada, or it just vary by family to family.
That's good. Good question. I'll take that one, Eric.
Yes, please go ahead.
So there are some, because we need to remember, Niagara College organizes and maintains our own homestay sort of group, right? Ooh. So that's all done through our international department. So it's very special, right? We're not sending it to a different company. So we do have some basic rules that a homestay family needs to follow. They need to provide a bedroom with a big enough window. It could be upstairs or downstairs, but it needs to have a window. It needs to have a bed, a desk, a place for your clothes, right? It needs to have unlimited internet. And the homestay family has to provide food. So what that means is we ask them to make dinner, but lunch and breakfast could be, the homestay family says, okay, there's the kitchen, make your own breakfast, make your own lunch. Some homestay families will say, you know what, I'm gonna make breakfast, lunch, and dinner because I love making food for you. So they'll do—
Especially, the older people.
Yeah, older people. Sometimes homestay family is younger, they're busy, they're going to work, and it's like everybody, even in my house when I was young, when I got to a certain age, it was everybody making their own stuff all the time, not my mom making for everybody.
My daughter, my younger one, also making lunch
her
by
own.
her own. Yeah. She's actually 13 years old. She's making her lunch bag by herself.
There you go, right? So that's very Canadian.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like some basic rules that we have in place. But yeah, once you go into a homestay family, you're gonna find other rules that you need to communicate with the family about. And it might be something like laundry. Maybe they'll say, hey, there's the washing machine, do your own laundry. Or they might say, no, I want to help you do your laundry.
Yes.
Or we are only doing laundry on Sunday. Right? Because our washing machines are huge, right? So we want a lot of clothes in there.
Yeah.
So every family is going to have a few different rules, and it's just communication.
Yep.
You have to communicate and ask questions and talk, and if you don't know or don't understand, you just have to talk with them.
Absolutely. See, again, ask. If you didn't ask, you didn't communicate, the host family might say, oh, the students are just happy, everything's okay. But you ask or talking with them, yeah, they will fix or they will adjust or they will explain why they want to do this to you. So this is important, right? That's good.
Yeah, and it's even with food, right? Is
every time
you gotta
sandwich, every dinner, you guys have maybe something spaghetti. Yeah, you have to say, oh no, I don't want to any more spaghetti, something like that. They ask, so they might be changed. If you say, oh, I love spaghetti,
they're gonna give it to you again.
They will give you spaghetti next day. They will give you spaghetti again, right? Until you say, no, I'm no more spaghetti. Anyway, this is so funny. Good. Next.
Great. And there's a kind of a follow-up questions on that. So Rebecca just asked me, does it mean that there's not, I think this from Kamal, and she asked, does it mean that there's no need to buy grocery items and the family provides everything?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the family provides everything you should need for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, if there are snacks that you like, you might want to go and do your own grocery shopping. And a lot of times I encourage students to go grocery shopping with the family.
Correct.
To learn, what exactly do we have in our grocery store? And to talk with your family and say, hey, that looks interesting. Maybe we can try eating that. Or saying, yeah, I really like oranges, but yeah, not really those apples.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're buying fruit, and it's just a way to communicate.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't need to do grocery shopping. But if there are special items like you like chocolate bars or something, I don't know, you might have to go and buy it by yourself.
And also, I really want to share this information. When you stay with host family in Canada, please don't thinking or imagine you are prince or princess. You are not princess. It's a host family. You stay together, right? Of course, in your country and in your home, your mother, father support everything. But here, no. Even my 13-year-old daughter, she has to pack her lunch by herself. She has to collect the laundry by herself. She has to have sweep all the floor, and then she has to have also dishwashing. This is her job at my house.
Yeah.
So this is a Canadian culture. So when you come to Canada or stay with a host family, please try to living together. So you should try to cook for them, or you should try to clean up for them as well. So stay together. It's not just I'm a student.
Yeah.
No, I cannot dishwash.
I paid you money.
Yeah, I gave you $850 per month. This is money.
Yeah.
So you have to provide something to me. No.
Yeah, no. You got to remember, it's homestay family, right? You're actually paying for that family experience. And the Canadian family is like a team, and everybody's working together to maintain the house, to maintain the family, to keep the house clean, do the garbage, do the dishes. I mean, even my 3-year-old daughter, has to help and clean up, right? Even for now, I'm like, you got to clean up your own. I will not. Yeah, you're right. She will not be the princess.
Absolutely.
And I just do everything for her and like, oh, no, she's part of the family.
Yeah.
She has to take part in all the work we do for our family.
Good.
Yes, I really love the thing that you say, James. You said that the students are paying for the Canadian experience, not paying for the service. It's not any kind of service at all.
And
so,
that's Niagara College has our housing department, and they can help you find a rental place or, you know, a landing pad, sort of a short-term family to stay with if you want to be more independent. That is perfectly okay as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So independence.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Any other questions, sir?
Of course, there are some questions lining up right here. And there's a question about the disadvantages and advantages of renting a room in Niagara region. So I think that Princess, her name is Princess Diane, I think, and she really wants to know the difference between, I think, staying in a homestay and renting a separate room in Niagara region. So what is the difference between these two forms of accommodation?
Room rent? No, homestay and room rent?
Homestay and room rent, yeah.
Okay, room rent, homestay is very much similar, but again, environmental. You will stay with host family, and then you can set up everything for you. Like you already have your room, internet connection, and the food will be eating together with family member.
Bed sheets, towels,
towel, everything. But if you stay room rent, you may have a housemate, not roommate, but you have to cook by yourself, and then you have to
buy your groceries.
buy your grocery owned.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Of course, you will share living room and also the bathroom, but you only have your own bedroom, and then very much independent.
Mm-hmm.
If you love to do independent, of course, illuminated. But my recommendation, please try to between 2 and 4 months to stay with host family, so you can get the experience.
Yeah, the experience.
You can
good.
see, oh, where should I go to buy grocery? How can I go there? And then how can I cook Canadian? How can I using Canadian stove? How can I using the Canadian laundry machine or the dishwash? And the electricity and all kinds of things you need to know, right? So between 2 and 4 months is good for you to get all those kind of information. And then you can useful, you feel better. Wow, I can be independent by myself. At that time, you can move to the room rent. Even you can also rent your apartment if you have money. If you worked as a part-time, make money, why not? Just to rent your apartment. It's around $950 for one apartment.
Yeah,
it's really good. It's cheap.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
thank you. That's it.
yeah,
Next.
okay. Another question is also relating to culture thing. So, Miss Hương Nguyễn from Vietnam asked about, are there any kind of taboos in which international students need to avoid? Like the cultural things that international may not know and they need to know before they come to Canada. So can you think of anything like that?
I'm sorry, this is unclear.
So like taboos?
Yeah, it's like something that the international students might not know and they might need to know before they come so they can avoid. Yeah, like the cultural thing. Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe I can have an example. So you guys are the insiders, so you can just consider. So when I was in Canada last year, I stayed at a homestay, and we kind of went to a boat trip to the beautiful river, and then they started to do some kind of water sport there, and I was like I wasn't really so much cared about that because I was busy watching the surrounding and enjoying the beautiful things. And then when they after that they asked me, hey, did you enjoy my performance? And they told me that, hey, you didn't even look at me doing the water sport. So I was like, oh, I'm very sorry. I didn't think that I was supposed to watch you and to, like, yeah. So I have to say that I was innocent then. And so that kind of an experience. So is it kind of a thing, a cultural thing that, yeah, international?
No.
Yeah.
That might have been a personal thing.
Yeah, that's personal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So that's,
but it made me think of one thing is that you should never assume, okay, this might be something taboo. Never assume that somebody is going to pay for you.
mm-hmm.
Right? So let's say I say, hey, Eric, let's go out for dinner. Eric should not assume that I'm going to pay for him because I said, let's go out for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right? And even with homestay family, right, there might be certain activities where you should be ready to pay your part. Right? So I think that's something that might be important to think about and just be aware of that, anytime, and it goes back to ask the question, right? Ask the question. If they're saying, hey, let's go out for dinner tonight at a nice restaurant, you can ask, oh, so how much money do you think I should bring? Right? And then they'll say, oh, no, don't worry, we're paying. Or they'll say, no, it's about $20 a person or something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you don't have to ask directly, are you going to pay for me? You ask,
oh, please pay for me.
Please pay for me. But that's something, you should be aware of that.
And also, I want to add a couple of things. The first, time. To be honestly, time and arrangement. And when not only school, but also outside of the same. So when, for example, if a school side, the teacher said that this is your deadline of a homework, you must submit. However, it's Canada. Teacher, I forget to submit. Can you give a time? They will give you one more chance to submit deadline. But if you didn't that, goodbye. And then again, class time, if they miss it, 8:30 starts, might be 8:35 or 8:40. Yeah, some teacher, they lock the door. You cannot get in the class.
Especially the business program.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. And also outside, same. You have appointment, or if you have an interview as a part-time with one of a company or a retail store, 8:30, you miss 8:35, goodbye. Yeah, you're done. So time is very important in here. Of course, we know Korea time, China time, Vietnam time, also Philippine time. We have all time, the culture. 5 minutes, that's okay. 10 minutes, oh, no problem. 30 minutes, traffic jam. Here, no excuse. The second thing, when you're dealing with the kids, the child, very careful. For example, if you play at the park or something, but you want to play with the kids, but you cannot. Please don't try that. If they play soccer, you just need to watch. Don't try to play with them together if they don't know you, who you are. It's very, very important. I had a mistake long times ago. I just played with them a couple times, and their parents came to me, and then they very annoying, and then it's very dangerous because the kids, they don't know who am I. They just do the fun play with me, but I also want to try to more fun to them, but because Canada, they very like clear, any parents and their child or play with somebody, they must get the approval from parents or know the family member, right? So of course it's an Asian culture, not really, because in the park play kids and some people or they don't know who are, but this play together is very common. But here Canada, especially play with child, even outside or with parents side, you must get the permission from parents. This is very important.
Yeah.
It might be people maybe mistake in go to camping or somewhere. It's the same. They mistake. They had it.
Right. Okay, thank you so much. That would be very helpful for our international students here. So we have been doing our section for 1 hour now. So how long do you think that you guys can stay with us to answer some more questions? Because I know that it's midnight there already. So
Okay, so now it's 12. So I believe we should have a say goodbye. Unfortunately, however, don't forget we will have another section coming soon, and Mr. James and I will be host you guys again. So we will keep your question, and then we will answer writing email or no email. But if you want to have our email, June, would you be able to write down our school email?
Sure. Yeah. We have so any questions, because I can see here there are a lot of questions relating to programs and our winter intake. So any
program winter intake. Today is a culture section.
I
no
know.
School here. So that's why we have a beard. Sorry, if you were expecting get any school permission, not today. No, today is only culture.
June, I have already answered the January 2021 programs already.
Okay, thank you very much, Jay. Yes. Thank you. And don't forget, because any questions that you guys want to ask, just feel free to reach out to your regional managers and your regional representative. We're very willing to answer all of your questions.
Okay. So, June, we want to say something and then to closing. So
yeah, I want to thank everybody for sort of joining us here in the meeting and being able to share and listen. And I hope you got a few insights, a few good ideas about what life is like here in Canada, the education, working, everything. But I mean, you can listen to as much as you want. You can read all the books. You can watch all the movies. But the best thing to do is come here, come to Niagara College and experience it. That's where you're really going to understand what we're talking about and have your own point of view. You might disagree with us on some things, but that's good. Come here and experience it. We're waiting for you.
Absolutely, yeah. This is just the one time our cultural sharing section, and we have keep another series coming, and James and I will also maybe happy to hosting another cultural section from at the other place, my house next, and also or Niagara Falls, whatever. And we try to share our experience as much as possible. We have a distance between you and us. However, James mentioned to us, please try and then make your dream, and then explore and then expand your career with us. Okay, thank you, and
thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Nice day, everybody, and June, back to you.
Okay, so good night to you guys, and thank you very much for staying up this late for us. And cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Have a nice day.
Thank you, James and Eric.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
have a good night.
Everyone.
Good night.
Thank you, Divine. You're so quiet.
Thank you, sir. Good night, everyone.